How did you get here?
Oh boy. It's kind of a long but also a very fast story. I left running at the age of 18 after having raced and ran for 10 years, like burnt out, done with the sport. Unfortunately, went through a pretty difficult coaching program, a pretty toxic cross-country program. Didn't intend to ever run again. And somehow in April of 2022, I found myself running my first 50K, having signed up for it 2 weeks before it started. And when I was running that, I just felt this very profound calling and contentment on my life that I was exactly where I was supposed to be and that I was only getting started. And I proceeded to spend the next 2.5, 3 years giving everything I had to the sport, which culminated to me running the Moab 240 in October of 2024. When I ran that first 50K, I really thought I was going to find my limit, and I was very far from finding that, and proceeded to sign up for 100K that fall with a lot of climbing, and ran that and didn't find my limit. And I just kept coming to these races and I was like, I'm learning so much, I'm growing so much, but I still don't feel like I have found where my physical limit is, where my emotional limit is. There's something that, this bar that keeps raising as I go. And in the fall of 2023, I was like, you know what? I want to try this race. This is so outside of my comfort zone, so beyond what I have done so far, and I'm going to put my name in the lottery. And if I get drawn, I'm going to give it everything I have and see what I can do. And so I spent the 2024 season focused on that race, running Sedona Canyon's 125 in the spring as a test run of what it's like to run over 100 miles. And it worked out well that it was pretty much half of the Moab course. And I ended up getting first place, 4th overall, and a course record. And I was like, well, I think I have something here at the longer distances. And so I want to see not just what I can do in the race in terms of like finishing well. I wanted to know how competitive I could be as well. Here I'll put all of like the space food, and then I also have like all of the gels, some form of protein every 4 hours, something so you can keep track of how fast I'm moving. Estimation of like when the front of the pack will be coming through stuff. Getting the pack ready for go time tomorrow. Hopefully everything fits. I think one of the biggest obstacles outside of the training and the preparation and just balancing that with a lot of stuff going on in life was the financial aspect. I didn't have the resources personally to get myself to the start line. And so I was seeking external help and support, and I was just having a really hard time pulling that together in a way that would make it possible for me to get on the start line, just with the enormous costs of these races. They're not easy to pull off. And so there was a point at which I didn't think I was going to be able to go at all. I picked that race to challenge myself. I prayed over that race, and if I was supposed to be there, that I would be there. And I was. So I went with everything I had in me to not only try to find that limit, but also to see what I could do as an athlete out there.
Was a special kind of torture. He responded, Tahoe wasn't torture, it was ecstasy. Adding that at least moments of it was, and that's all that really matters.
You can prepare as much as you can on paper without having experienced it. So there was elements where I was drawing from past experiences, from the knowledge that I've gleaned with coaching and nutrition and things like that I could pull into my plan. But obviously there's still a lot of things outside of your control. I knew how to prepare for a 30-hour day, a 40-hour day, but beyond that, I had no idea what I needed for sleep. I didn't really know what my strategy was going to be there. I was going to kind of play it by ear. But I definitely had a nutrition plan, how I needed to attack the fueling for the heat of the day, for the cool of the night, any physiological signs that I needed to keep tabs on, that I needed to be on top of, taking care of myself the best that I could.
Wag bag, ziploc, spare.
And then the pacing strategy really was to not race for the first half of the race or so, to run well and to run consistently, but primarily to be efficient in everything, consistent forward progress.
You got this, guy?
The first day I was dealing with kind of a high body temperature, high heart rate. I was in not the best space. Part of that was because of where I was at in my cycle. And so I knew I had to be a little bit more conservative in managing my heart rate. So my coach and I kind of set a cap. This is where my effort can sit. I knew I just needed to run consistently. I had some splits that I was looking for aid stations to run based off of an 84-hour time. But beyond that, it was kind of just doing what I know how to do in the moment.
My shoes and my socks need to go.
Cool.
I couldn't get anything. Oh shoot! I couldn't get anything out of my bladder that entire run, so I just ran with 3 liters in my bladder for no reason. Also, I have no more flavored things in the front. Only and then the flow formula is bothering my stomach with the concentration of carbs. So we need to go down to 1 scoop per liter.
I would say there were some issues. Thankfully, nothing catastrophic, but I didn't tie my shoes tight enough leaving the start line, and my feet were moving around a little too much in that first 8-mile section. When we were traversing this canyon side, we were basically going up and down and up and down, and it's pretty rocky. And so I started getting hot spots on my heels, and I was like, this cannot be happening this early in a race. I have so far to go.
You can sell them on the internet and maybe it'll help pay for this race.
Oh, yeah. I hear people pay some good money.
I haven't had blisters on my feet for like my entire training cycle. Like, haven't had to worry about them. So I couldn't make a quick adjustment because 1, I was in pace line, and 2, I was wearing gaiters, and it wasn't a good spot to like pull off and adjust. So they ended up getting a little red, a little hot. Stopped at the first aid station to get my heels taped.
What heck of a first introduction.
Chose to be proactive on that, even though I didn't want to stop at that aid station.
Nice work, guys.
And it ended up getting worse and worse, especially through the like 70-mile mark, 80-mile mark. The really fine, gritty sand was really taking its toll. I jammed my toe into a couple rocks so hard that I'd lifted both of my big toenails, and it was just like, oh, this is not going well. And I was kind of like, I don't know what to do at this point. I made the mistake of not putting socks in my drop bags, and so it was just too far between aid stations before I could replace my socks. And that's where I really had to lean into my faith and lean into the faith of my partner, and he prayed for my feet to be healed. And they were. I didn't struggle the rest of the race with any of my blisters preventing me from running. I didn't have any pain in my feet anymore. I could run freely, and my feet actually looked better at the end of the race than they did at mile 60. The heat of the day was really, really hard. It was a lot harder than I anticipated, and I think it took a lot of people out. And it was definitely one of those things where I couldn't move as fast as I wanted to, just really had to conserve energy and be smart about not wasting so much energy in the heat, and really being on top of the hydration and the nutrition, and just kind of steadily moving forward, and then really taking the night sections as time to make up some time.
Yeah.
Tired and my feet hurt, but like my climbing legs are there. Like I don't feel like my quads are blown, my glutes are fine, my hammies are fine. It's just my feet.
I think the first time I really remember being super conscious of where I was in the field was maybe around Shea Mountain. I think 114 miles in. I came in and my crew kind of gave me the lowdown of where people were. I believe F1 and F2 were both sleeping at the aid station whenever I came in, and this was the first time that I would stop to sleep.
And especially the trajectory you're on, so keep going.
Thanks, Derek. That's so nice. Got full capacity on both sniffers now. All right.
So this should hopefully be decently light.
That was the first awareness of where I was in the field. And I believe I left that aid station in third place. They had gotten there a little bit before me, had headed out before
Battery
me.
packs, nutrition. I think that's everything. It's probably the best I've looked in 40 hours.
Nothing can stop you now.
And from there, it was a pretty consistent effort to try to chase down F2 within reason. Still taking care of myself, still a lot of race left, but still had my eye on where she was. And then I came into I believe it was the Road 46 or Dry Valley aid station, and she was there. And from there through the La Salles, it was pretty neck and neck, and doing everything I could to try to catch her. Several aid stations I'd get there, and she was there, but she'd gotten there in just enough time that her crew could prep her, get her what she needed, and get her out as soon as I was either coming in or getting my stuff taken care of. And because of the nature of the distance between crewable aid stations, I had no choice but to stop and change clothes and get my gear reset, because it would be 10, 12 hours probably or more before I'd see my crew again. So they had a little bit of a leg up there, but she was also running hard and doing an incredible job, and her name was Rebecca, and we definitely got the most out of each other, being able to have that competition that deep into a race, to be able to fight for that podium together.
I'm so glad that
Where do you want in the
you guys
background?
could be here.
I think with the knowledge I have now, I might have moved a little faster and not tried to conserve as much. But because I didn't know where my limitations were, I had to be a little bit more careful of where that line is between within capacity and tipping over into a zone that I couldn't come back from. And because I was not super aware of where that margin was, I tried to stay true to what I knew was my capacity. And so I think in hindsight, I could have shaved some time off at aid stations, and I could have given it a little bit more gas early on. I think I had some more in the tank.
All right, what do you want to tell the world at 160?
We can still run, folks.
That's right.
Good. Good stuff.
What did you just eat?
Burger, hash browns, BCAAs, element, charcoal, caffeine pill, a Tylenol,
Tums.
Tums.
Don't forget about the Tums.
We just threw it all at my stomach and turned out to work out okay. Oh golly.
Great time.
Nice work.
Honestly, the moments with my crew and pacers were incredibly special. They came together to support me. They made so many sacrifices to be out there and gave up a lot on my behalf to help me achieve my goal. And I think some of the times and conversations I spent with them are some of the highest highs, and especially the road marathon, the conversations and the time that I got to spend with my pacer Kyle out there. Just had these moments where I was running and it just felt effortless, like I was floating, like I wasn't exerting any energy, and I was just felt so light and free. And we ran that section under moonlight without any headlamps because it was so bright, and where else could you do that? It was so cool and so special.
My own reflections making me sick. I've been this way since my faith quit. And I never asked for this pain. It's taking me over. It's taking me over. It's making me colder. If I broke it, would you quit? Is this heartache we can fix? In the morning, when we wake, when I'm sober, would you stay? If I broke it, would you quit? Is this heartache we can fix? In the morning, when we wake, when I'm sober, please just go easy on me, baby. Go easy on me, baby. Can you understand it? I can't keep living for the damage. Please just go easy on me, baby. Go easy on me, baby. Can you understand it? I can't keep living for the damage.
Tell the people what's going on.
I'm on my way to Candy Egg Station. I don't know what mile it is.
Almost mile 185.
Mile 185. We're still running. I'm 2 hours ahead of my projected split for this section, which I'm really happy with, since it was a 14-mile section with consistent climbing. Got some rain in there.
Dropped to 40, got rain. Exciting times.
Great.
Now we're headed to the pool party.
Yeah, time for the pool party.
Please just go easy on me, baby. Go easy on me, baby. Can you understand it? I can't keep living for the damage.
I think some of the low moments for sure come to mind with just some of the really long, grueling sections through the heat of the day. I think every daytime was hard in its own right, but I think the lowest time came just after the Geyser Pass aid station at mile 200. We had spent a lot of time up high at altitude and had only gotten around 2 hours of sleep, maybe a little bit more at that point, and we were on to day 3. And I think that's where my body, one, started to recognize that the finish line was near, but it was also pretty tired, and I started losing my eyesight and just like lost cognitive function in a way that I hadn't experienced before. Like I felt pretty sharp and present and aware the whole race, but I started to like look down at my limbs and they didn't appear to be like attached to my body. Like they just felt far away, and my voice like sounded like it was like way behind me. And I just got this like very, very deep anxiety around my well-being, and I couldn't logic myself out of it because I couldn't see anything. I was losing my eyesight. It felt like everything was shutting down. It was a really low time. Kyle was with me at that time, and he had run Cocodona 250, and it reminded me of so many of the reasons why I was out there and how in the moment I was feeling. It took 200 miles to get there and to not waste it, to learn from that experience, to sit in that experience, and to take the learnings forward from that, relying on my faith and seeking the Lord in that really low moment to work through the anxiety allowed me to turn a corner and finish that last 18 miles with all I had. I'm still very proud of the way I was able to turn it around and learn from that.
Please just go easy on me, baby. Go easy on me, baby. Can you understand it? I can't keep living for the damage. Please just go easy on me, baby. Go easy on me, baby. Can you understand it? I can't keep living for the damage. Can't change me, can't save me, can't blame me. I know love can't change me, can't save me, can't blame me. I know love can't change me, can't save me, can't blame me. I know love can't change me, can't save me, can't blame me.
I walked away with no regrets, and I think that's something I'm really proud of. I think I far exceeded what I imagined for that race in terms of problem solving through the things that did occur, avoiding a lot of catastrophes because I had learned from so many past mistakes on other races. And I had a really good team around me that was learning alongside me, but so willing to help and so selfless and sacrificial that everyone's eyes were on the same target. And I think working together allowed us all to walk away really, really proud of what we accomplished. I didn't know what my body could do at that distance. And so I was really excited to see that it seems to be the farther I go, the better things go for me and the better my body shows up time and time again. But yeah, I think walking away from the race without any regrets and being so content with it, it's like, wow, I can take a breath now. I can breathe and soak in some downtime.
Henrico, Virginia, we have Catherine Edwards with a time of 83 hours, 57 minutes, and 6 seconds. From Salt Lake City, Utah, we have Rebecca Rick.
I think the further you push and the further I get outside my comfort zone, the more mistakes I make, the more failures I have. They all raise the bar up a little bit. They all make you better as you continue to grow. Your capacity for your limit rises with you. So I think now, instead of chasing the proverbial limit, my goal more so is to figure out how good I can be as an athlete, as a human, as a family member, as a friend. Those things, I think, mean so much more than a physical athletic limit.